Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, thanks a lot, Royce, and thank you for tuning into the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh. I'll be joined by Chris Mueller in a matter of moments over at the 93.7, the Fan Cam. We're going to talk about the Steelers. We're going to be talking about the Battling Buccos. How about Unleash the Hounds? Big win against the Columbus Crew. Maybe we should start with that tonight, Chris. Did you watch any of the Hounds game? Do you have Hounds fever now? Because obviously Bucco fever is not spreading anymore.
Well, I do know what the analog to the U.S. Open is in like English Premier League soccer. It's the FA Cup, where it's just an open tournament, so the big boys, your Manchester Cities, can go against, the little clubs no one's ever heard of, and sometimes those little clubs even make a deep run, Richie. So I guess what? That's like basically the old Indiana State basketball tournament that Hoosiers was based on. It's just an open run. I love this for the Riverhounds. This is the second MLS team they've beaten. Screw the MLS, all right? The Riverhounds are good enough to get to the quarters. They're in the Elite Eight. I mean, this is cool. I do like soccer. Kidding aside, I do like watching it. I could never play it to save my life. Hopefully this sparks a little more interest around here. Fun sport to watch.
They had 6,100 over there, breaking a record from 2019, I believe. But it was a packed house. I was over there early for the start of the game. It was a good game, and I don't know if I'm making too big of a deal out of this, but, taking down two MLS teams back-to-back, I think is huge, especially for a team like the Riverhounds.
I guess it would be akin to probably a AAA team beating a couple really, good major league teams back-to-back games. Like, it's plausible it could happen. The sport allows for it to be possible, but it's highly unlikely. So good for them. They're in the final eight. That's a cool thing. They win one more, I think you might get more than just avid fan interest around here. You might get some more casuals.
So they're in the quarterfinals. That would be there's eight teams left here. So, AAA versus Major League, almost maybe like a mid-major team in the NCAA tournament, upsetting a really good team, potentially similar to that.
I just do wonder what it would take to get, if they win this. Does the Riverhounds, say, winning the U.S. Open soccer tournament, does it get on the map here? You're talking about it. I'm talking about it. I know enough about it to be, versed in a basic sense about it, but there's a resonance that something like that has to have to, say, bump Steelers OTAs and the Pirates losing again off the front pages, let's say.
No, I don't think so. I mean, unfortunately, I just think soccer would be third, fourth, fifth fiddle here in Pittsburgh, obviously behind the Steelers and even a losing Pirates team. But I think there is some traction being gained here. There's some excitement. You see it over there. There are a lot of soccer fans out there. I just think here's the one thing about Pittsburgh. It's a winning town, right? They want to come out and see winners. And if you're a winning team, the fan base here is going to support you.
They do, but I wonder if there are limits to that, Richie. I mean, it is soccer. It's big in Columbus. It's big in some of the bigger cities. Atlanta does really well in attendance. Pacific Northwest does really well attendance-wise. But I do think that there's a limit to it's a town for winners kind of idea here. I mean, it's awesome. Those fans are nuts. 22nd minute, I know they get this goal. I do think that there are limits to that whole idea of winners can kind of. I mean, look at that scene. That's a crazy scene.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I would like for it to work. I don't know what MLS's minimum stadium requirements are, but look at that actual scene. They're right on the river. You can see boats going by in the background down the Mon River. If you could get that backdrop and somehow expand that place while keeping the shot that you just saw, that would be unbelievable.
Yeah, I think they're really far away from having, and they need to get a stadium that fits 35,000 or something. I think that the requirements around something like that, but I don't think the city would support an MLS team. Not sure, but I think they could get
NBA or MLS, Richie. Yeah. Which would you rather have, NBA or MLS? I know my answer.
NBA. I don't think there's any question. I think NBA would be more popular here than MLS. I do. But I think you could. I think a team like the Riverhounds, you could get 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 in there if you're good. Just you saw it here tonight, so it was a fun game to watch.
The Riverhounds are perfect first date material. You can show your date that you're cultured, that you're worldly. Hey, well, how about we go to a Riverhounds game? I'm not just like all those other guys who pop through 12 icy lights on Sunday when the Steelers are on. I'm a man of culture. That's what that game would have been perfect for tonight. Come on, babe, let's go do some chants.
I wonder how many first dates were over there tonight. That would be cool to find that out.
I hope at least one. I hope at least one, and that the scoring wasn't limited to the field.
I would put the over-under at 4.5. 4.5 first dates.
4.5?
Yeah.
So were there 10 people on dates?
Well, I'm setting the over-under at 4.5. Would you take the under or would you take the over?
I mean, you're saying if you're taking the over, there's got to be at least 10 total people out of that 6,100 that are going on dates for the first time. So 5 couples. I don't know. I'm setting the under, Richie.
Okay. All right. I think I'm going to go with the under, too. All right. Speaking of the Riverhounds, that's tonight's GMC tweet of the night. We're going to go to this a little early because we're unleashing the Hounds. We got Hounds fever in Houndtown right now. U.S. Open Cup. We got one. Riverhounds, USOC 2032. All right. We're going to be back here in a couple minutes taking your phone calls, 412-575-2600 on the Borders and Borders hotline. Back at you in a couple minutes on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.